Hi, I'm Margaret Lua and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm an artist based out of the Bay Area of California, and in today's video I thought I'd give a little studio tour of my home studio. So this is my studio space. I guess I'll start out with the gallery wall, which has a lot of my finished and partially finished and not even started paintings. It's a good way to store them and then kind of see what I've been working on. And then next to my easel is this tabaret, which I use to hold all of my paintbrushes. So I have a lot of tiny ones for fine details, some medium-sized ones, and then honestly these are my largest brushes here that I use for oil painting. I have a couple of palette knives, and then I honestly use the surface of this tabaret to hold paintings when they're drying, so I can't really reach back here when I'm painting, and this is the current setup. And in the top drawer I have all my oil paints. I try to keep this as organized as possible, but the paints often make their way outside of it and then just end up here. And then in the second drawer I keep all of cut up t-shirts that I use to clean off my paintbrushes. And then the third drawer just has some miscellaneous stuff like extra oil paint and the lids to the jars. And then in the bottom here, if I can get to it, is just paper and some flat canvases and easels, like mini easels. And then this over here is a desk easel that I use for some smaller paintings. And right now I'm just using this bar stool to hold my palette, which is a frame from Goodwill that I've put some neutral tone paper behind to kind of help me keep my colors straight. And what's really convenient about this is that it ended up fitting here, which I didn't account for or plan for, so that's cool. And so here's my easel and the current painting that I'm working on. And to the left I have some drawers that have my office supplies and like tape. Back here I have some gesso and another traveling easel behind there. And I want to note that this YouTube video isn't sponsored by anyone, so if you want to support me and my channel, you can subscribe and leave a comment and share it with a friend. That helps me out a lot. And then in this corner I have this pegboard that I keep some palettes on and have some embroidery hoops that I've worked on, as well as some miscellaneous notes and other supplies. And then I have a desk that is a standing desk. It's really convenient because I can use the underside of it to store some wet painting. So if I want to work on something else and I'm waiting for a bigger painting to dry, I'm able to fit it underneath here. This 30 by 40 painting does fit there. And then underneath I have these drawers that I got off of Craigslist, or shelves that hold miscellaneous things and folders and sketchbooks. And so that's my studio space. It's a little bit messy. And I used to think that I needed to have a perfect studio space in order to be a real artist. But I realized that you just have to make space for your artwork where you can. This is just the most recent iteration of my studio. It's the biggest space I've had yet to dedicate to my art. And I used to, I started out at just like the kitchen table. That's all the space that I had, and it's grown into a bigger and bigger space. So that was a quick tour of my studio space, and I want to mention that my studio is constantly changing as I work on paintings and move things around, and that it's always been changing ever since I have been making more space and room for my art. As I mentioned before, I started out in a little corner of the kitchen table, and it wasn't a permanent space for my artwork. And so I hope that you take away from this that you can always create and make things in any space. You don't have to have the perfect studio. You can always just make wherever you have a little bit of space to dedicate to your art, and it's okay if it's not a permanent space. So with that, I'd love to hear where you make your art and how you make space for your creativity. And let me know in the comments any other things that you want to see from me in my future videos. Thanks so much for watching.